T-Mobile now extends your coverage beyond the borders at no extra charge. Get 4G LTE data, unlimited calls and texts in Mexico and Canada, just like in the U.S. That's coverage in 3 countries for the price of 1, only from T-Mobile.
All right, everybody, welcome to Fox News Now Monday night edition. I'm in for Kinsey. My name is Mike Pache. I hope everyone is having an awesome evening. We got a big show for you tonight. Hi, Rachie. How you doing? Always so nice to me, and the group is always so very active. I love that you guys always express your opinions for the different kind of stories that we do feature here on Fox News Now. But like I was saying, big show. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to be joined by Jude, and we're going to break down the Cardinals game, the big Sunday night, Sunday afternoon game. It was amazing to see. They blew out the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. It was something to see. But we also got a lot of news headlines to get to, as well as Scott Walker announced today that he is suspending his 2016 campaign. So there is that, plus a whole bunch of other things, including tomorrow is the big day. The Pope is coming to America, a historic visit. It will be just the 4th time that a Pope has visited the United States, and he is in for a historic trip, going to Washington, D.C., going to New York City, and then wrapping it all up in Philadelphia. And you got to believe it, Fox News Now will be your source. We're going to be streaming every event that he is going to be at. It's going to be really something to see, and we're trying to also set up stuff with the Phoenix Archdiocese so they could come on and kind of give us their perspective, and then as well as give us a little bit more context into all the fun events that we will be seeing and witnessing. And once again, Fox News Now, we do stream these things live, and we appreciate everybody that comes in and really takes part of this great service and product that we offer to the community and really country. So I do want to get into some news before we start breaking down that Cardinals huge win. I do want to get to the very latest with Scott Walker announcing that he suspended his campaign.
Out of the race today. Since the emergence of Donald Trump and the debate season, Walker's campaign simply lost steam. During his resignation speech, Walker said the race had become too nasty, and he urged other candidates to drop out so voters could concentrate on a smaller field. Walker's the second candidate to drop out of the race. A CNN poll released today showed Walker polling at less than 1%.
That same poll showing Donald Trump in the lead, but his lead is slipping while Carly Fiorina is surging into second place now. Let's take a look at the numbers. Trump down 8 points from last month, but still leading. Carly Fiorina, she's the only woman on the Republican side, up 3 points, 15% is where she is. Retired neurosurgeon Dr. Ben Carson, he slips 5 points down to 14%. Senator Marco Rubio in 4th place with 11%. In 5th place, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush with 9%.
Wisconsin Governor Scott.
All right, so there was that big announcement today from Governor Scott Walker. He is dropping out of the Republican presidential primary race. And another big story was the weather. Remember today, everyone was saying it is going to come down. It's going to be a huge monsoon day. Well, it really wasn't that big.
Rain this year in Tempe, the rain coming down hard at the US 60 in McClintock. The storm did not last very long, but it did give the area pretty good soaking, as you see here. This is when it was coming down pretty hard. Drivers forced to take a little slower go of it on the slick roads, giving their windshield wipers a good workout. This is a time when you really find out if you've got good wipers.
Yeah, good time to change the blades, actually. Take a look at the view right now from our South Mountain tower cam as the storm rolled through. We sped up the video, kind of show you the movements and the bands of rain that came through, blanketing the mountain with rain. in a matter of minutes. Now, our Mark Martinez was at the base of South Mountain. As the rain started to fall, he joins us live. What's the story out there now? You look pretty wet.
Well, actually, John, we've got a break. We are dry right now, but we were right in the middle of that storm as it rolled through. From the pictures you could see from our tower cam. And as you look behind us here, this is Dobbins and 19th Avenue. It is a pretty soggy commute home for a lot of these drivers. There's still quite a bit of standing water out on the roads because, again, we got quite a lot of rain in a short amount of time, so a lot of people here taking it slow as they make their way home for their evening commute. Now, the city of Phoenix, the fire station here on Dobbins and 19th, they were offering free sand to people who wanted to try and protect.
Of flooding, we stopped by some of the stations in Mesa and Tempe and caught up with one man filling up bags for residents at his apartment complex.
It's just better to be safe than be sorry. We're going to set up the sandbags for our residents just to make sure everybody's safe, just to, probably just to keep everybody a cool head.
By the way, we've got a complete list of sandbag locations around the valley on our website, fox10phoenix.com. Just go to the section Seen on TV.
Rain falling in Tempe right as the afternoon rush hour got underway. You can see it here. It's kind of coming up from the road, a little bit on the camera. This video from ADOT at US 60 and Priest. Andrew Hasbin spent the day chasing the storms, and he joins us live near 40th Street and Baseline. Andrew.
Hey, Carrie, we have been all over today. We're actually up in New River earlier, and that area may have seen some of the heaviest rains today. Here in Tempe, it's not raining right now, but that was not the case earlier. This afternoon in Tempe, a steady but light rain, enough though to bring out the umbrellas. A few miles away near 48th Street and Baseline, a strong downpour left part of the road covered in water. A few unlucky pedestrians got soaked.
I'm handling it pretty good, but the cars came through, they were sloshing water, so I had to stand back here.
Up north in New River, about half an inch of rain fell, filling some of the washes. We were there just after they started running.
And watched it come in, and my son's soccer balls leading the way down the wash. So
this is the same area where flooding last year destroyed homes.
That was a couple hours of what it was just doing. If it stayed going, it would have been another one.
Thankfully, this water didn't cause any problems, but more rain is expected. And to give you some perspective, what you just saw in New River is what half an inch of rain can do. Last year, during those major floods, New River saw more than 5 inches of rain. Reporting live, I'm Andrew Hasbin, Fox 10 News.
Thanks, Andrew. Tucson, as we see so often, they are going to get a bunch of rain. They're going to get between 1 and 2 inches. This was a scene along I-10 this afternoon. Southern Arizona will be under a flash flood watch until tomorrow evening. Dave Muncie's been tracking the storms as they move in. He joins us live with a look at what to expect tonight and tomorrow. Dave, what's the story?
Well, John, you're right about that southern Arizona, the Tucson area south of there. Nogales picking up 1.5 inches of rain already through this storm, so a lot of rain down to the south of us. As you can see, that's where all of this moisture is coming from. It rolls up out of the south here, being invited up by a low pressure system that's kind of helping to do that. As we back off just a little bit on this map, what you're going to see, we have a flood warning until 7:30. That's down in the Tucson area. Flood advisories until 7 o'clock. They are in the Tucson area, and they're up in Coconino County as well with a few of those. So we are still looking at a lot of very, very active weather through the night. However, the National Weather Service is letting up just a little bit on that flood watch. So the moisture falling apart just a little bit, but we still have rain forecast through the night tonight and through the day.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Always breaking it down for us on the weather when we always depend on you, because we really want to know always what is going to happen tomorrow, right? So we're glad we got that breakdown. And if any rain breaks over, if we do get a storm, of course, we will be covering it. And just like on Friday, if you guys were watching on Friday, when we talk about we break these things down for Fox News Now, how we really showcase different kinds of stories. Well, we had the breaking news, as you remember, with the I-10 shooting suspect arrested. We went into overdrive on the coverage of that. Kinsey did a phenomenal job, and it was just an amazing team effort to see everybody pulling together, because that was something. It happened at 7 p.m. on Friday when all that news broke. So it was really a joint team effort, and I think a lot of people will understand that as well. Coming up, just about 5 minutes, we're going to be talking to Jude. He's going to be breaking down the Arizona Cardinals' big win, and then we're going to go into talk a little bit about the Pope.
The Cardinals facility, Mike, and I asked him, I said, okay, tell me, in a foot race, Chris Johnson, Andre Ellington, and you in the 40. And he just kind of smiled. He says, well, I don't want to go there, but I'm going to tell you something. He's a 4.35. He's a sub 4.4 40, and he's young, fresh legs, and he just glides. And when you give him, it doesn't look like he's running fast because he has a great stride, but this guy is special on the outside, and we saw that on the kick return.
Wow. And then Fitzgerald just putting on a clinic, kind of a retro Fitzgerald with the 3 TDs.
It really is. I mean, when you look at what he's been able to do throughout his career, with Kurt Warner, he played a lot on the outside, and Kurt was just notorious in terms of throwing to his outside shoulder. And if you look at Fitz back during the Kurt Warner years, he would elevate his vertical. I mean, he would just go up top. He was a 6'3", big receiver, great elevation. Now, in Bruce's system, he's a different player. Maybe not as quick, maybe not as vertical, but when they put him in the slot, I mean, he can go across the field. He can give you the slanting. He can still go deep on occasion. So they figured out a way to take a guy 12 years in the league and still get great productivity out of him. And that's what I love about Bruce's system. You really spread the ball around.
That's awesome. And then how pumped was the team coming back? What was their demeanor?
I mean, they know that now they got the next 2 games at home, and they've got the 49ers this Sunday, and this place is going to be rocking.
Yep.
And then after that, the Rams come to town, so they got 2 home games. And anytime you win on the road in the NFL, I don't care if it's the Bears or wherever you go, that's a plus. I mean, the formula is real simple. Win at home, and then grab X amount of wins on the road. And, they're off to a great start.
And not to mention, the Seattle Seahawks dropped to 0-2.
That's always nice to see, isn't it?
Wow.
I mean, couldn't be happy. I mean, you're either in one camp or the other. You don't like the Seahawks or you love them.
Yep.
And look, I've always believed that I don't care how good you are, sustaining greatness is one of the most difficult things to do, whether you're the Yankees, the Cowboys back in the Steelers. And listen, they've been great for the last few years. But there's going to be a crack in the armor. And I'm not saying it's this year, but they're already down 2 games. And, look, this is a team that, they were on the cusp of winning last year on that controversial play. And I still think there's a hangover there. I suspect they're obviously going to be a force. But I like where the Cards are at right now, man. And if they can protect Carson Palmer.
That's true. Now, because, what was he, 9-1 last year before he got hurt?
He is on an 8-game winning streak.
Wow.
And he is 15-2 over his last 17 starts here in Arizona. And I've always thought that this guy, even before they acquired him, Mike, he had some great years in Cincinnati, but he didn't have much of a team around him. Then he goes to Oakland. That's been literally a black hole. You get lost. And now he's with a team towards the end of his career that's become a very good organization with personnel, and he's flourishing. He's absolutely flourishing right now, and he's a good dude. There's guys that are really good players and are not so good off the field. This guy's a really hardworking, depth